All right. The usual suspects. Buenos dias, yogis. Bev, Brenda, Alexis, Lucy. Good to see you all.
I have a quick question before we start.
Please.
Yesterday I was doing yoga and we're doing seated twists, and I kind of threw my back out.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, so I'm like really sore in my like whole back.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Um, do you feel it more on your left side or your right side?
It's like lower to middle back. I think I did a little bit too much too quick, and like I feel like a pull.
Mm,
So
okay.
it's kind of hard to get through the rest of the class yesterday, but I did it. But I'm still like
Yeah.
really sore back there.
And you're feeling really sore right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want you to do, Dev, is I want you to follow along.
Okay.
And the moment that you feel the pain coming back, just stop. Just literally like come to a seat. And when I see you sitting down, yeah, blocks are going to be really important. And let's actually, gang, let's go ahead and grab a strap. Let's grab a strap for today's class. I'm gonna go grab mine. So if you don't have a strap, a belt, a towel, anything and everything,
I have my boxing hand wraps. That could work. Right?
that could work. Yeah, let's go. That works. Let me go grab mine. So everyone, let's grab a strap. Let's go ahead and grab our blocks. Um, And today, let's go ahead and just warm up. So let's start like shaking our bodies, moving around. Good morning, Shannon. We're using a strap for today's class. So go ahead and grab a strap. And if you have a yoga block or two, go ahead and grab that as well. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my strap. Okay. All right. How's everyone feeling today? How are we doing? Wednesday morning. Need some yoga in. Let's go. Uh, so So yeah, Devin, so whenever you start feeling a flare up of that pain, make sure to stop. And then when we're practicing, gang, remembering that every time that there's pain in the body, it's their bodies are trying to communicate something to us, And there's this, it's a very Western mindset of like no pain, no gain, or working through the pain, or toughing it out or whatever. And I'm a proponent of those things sometimes. But when it comes to specifically when it comes to yoga, I would not recommend that at all. So the moment you're starting to feel like something is not really working or something is painful in your body, even in these classes, just know that you can always raise your hand or just get my attention somehow. Have a seat, and then I can like speak to that live in real time. Okay. So making sure that we're not forcing ourselves to do anything or to get into any positions that we're not ready for. So today, let's come to standing on our mat and let's grab our strap. I'm going to come to my knees just so you can see me. And you can do this on your knees as well if you'd like, but standing works. We're going to grab our strap. And now, just for a little bit of yogi etiquette for those of you that might want to practice at yoga studios, when you're using a strap, you want to grab the strap closest to the buckle and then spread from there. Because otherwise, if you're grabbing from here, sometimes these straps have like two metal ends, and it's just gonna click the whole time, and it's gonna be very distracting. So if you're ever practice at a yoga studio where they have straps and if they have, this one only has one loop, but sometimes they have two, just grab the strap closer to the loop and then spread. It was just like a personal pet peeve of mine when people would grab the strap over here and this thing's like dangling and making noise the whole time. So grabbing the strap, we go a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart today. If you have a towel like Alexis is showing, that's fine. And grab your strap today, and you want to find your arms locked out. So not maybe a little bend there, tiny little bend. We're going to start by lifting the arms up, gaze up, and then back down. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, you reach down. Now this time, keep the gaze forward. Reach up and down. And now notice if your gaze wants to go down, if the shin wants to come down, keep the gaze forward, looking up and down. Now we make it a little bit wider. Maybe you go all the way through to the back and all the way back. So for some of you, you might need to get a little bit more space between your hands to make that happen. And then you can play with how short you can bring your hands together while you reach forward and back. Forward and back. Cool. Do this a few times. And now from there, yogis, with the strap overhead, we're going to make circles through the ceiling. So big, big circles through the ceiling. Good morning, Garen. We're using a strap for today's class. Circles in the opposite direction. Okay. And now from there, put your strap off to the side. We're going to use it for its different postures for today's class. Just put it off to the side and we come to standing on our mat. Big toes together, little space through the back of the heels. And again, you can always spread the feet about hip width distance apart if that's a little bit easier. Once you're there, yogis, inhale, extended Tadasana, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer by your heart. Take a moment to close your eyes, relax your elbows. Micro bend through your knees, find a tall spine. And just take a few moments to connect with your breath and connect with your reason for being here, your intention for today's class. Rooting down through all four corners of your feet. Breathing into the ground. And now together we inhale, arms overhead, extended Tadasana. Exhale, Anjuvitasana, back bend. Cactus your arms, squeeze your glutes today. Engage the belly and reach back. Send your gaze back. Imagine your chin reaching as far away from your heart as you can. Inhale, extended Tadasana, arms overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Straight spine as you lower all the way down. And once you find this first forward fold, you can bring your hands to blocks here. Or you can bring your fingertips to the ground, or your palms can touch the floor and pedal out your feet. Bend one knee, then the other. Shake your head, yes, no. Breathe into your spine, into your low back, into your upper spine. And release. Beautiful, yogis. From there, hands over your knees. Inhale, you rise, halfway lift, straight spine. And now here, squeeze your shoulder blades together, engage your belly, right? We're preventing ourselves from rounding like this, but actively pressing onto the thighs to create a flat back. Exhale, squat and curl. Hands down to the blocks or to your floor. Lift your heels and curl into a little ball. Bring your chin in towards your chest and bring your eye sockets in towards your knee. Take a few moments to breathe here. This big C curvature for the spine. One more breath in. On your exhale, forward fold. Heels to the ground, lift your hips. Shift your weight forward towards your toe. Inhale, you rise, halfway lift, straight spine again. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Extend the arms overhead. Big, big, big good morning stretch. Exhale, hands to prayer by your heart. Relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. So now we flow through our Asana 2 more times. Breath to movement. Inhale, extended Tadasana, arms overhead. Exhale, Anjuvitasana, back bend. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale as you rise, halfway. Exhale, squat and curl. Hands to the ground, lift your heels, curl into a little bow. Just stay here for one breath in. And as you exhale, forward fold. Heels to the ground, lift your hips. Pedal out your feet here, bend one knee then the other. Inhale as you rise halfway, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, arms up. Exhale one more time, Anyagitasana. And again, yogis, you don't have to go as far, especially if you're feeling any low back pain. Squeeze your glutes and then just go as far as you can while maintaining a strong connection to the ground. Inhale, extended Tadasana, gaze forward. Last one, exhale, forward fold. Take your time with these. Move at your own pace. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale, squat and curl. Lift your heels, curl into a little ball. All right. Breathing here. Welcome, Leela. Good to see you. Take a deep breath in, everyone. Exhale, forward folds. Heels to the ground. So Leela, for today's class, we're using a strap and blocks if you have them. And we're finding ourselves at a forward fold.
Okay.
Take a few moments in this forward fold, yogis. Pedal out the feet, bend one knee, then the other. Hands above your knees. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale as you fold once again. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Arms extend up towards the sky. And on your exhale, interlace your fingers, yogis. So I'm going to come to my knees just so you can see me, but stay standing. And with your hands overhead, I want you to make giant circles through the ceiling. So my palms are together, my index finger is pointed up towards the ceiling, and I'm tracing a line. I'm making giant circles in the ceiling with my index finger. Keep your biceps by your ears. Notice if you're holding your breath, taking deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now circles in the opposite direction. Beautiful. We're warming up our spine, feeling heat moving through our central channel. Electricity that's flowing through our extremities, our hands, and our feet. Take an inhale as you poke a hole through the ceiling. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon to your right. Reach your hands to the right. Send your hips to the left, like you're the string of a bow being pulled back. Once you're there, hold. Hold that position, yogis. Take a deep breath in. Find depth on your breath out. Reach a little bit further. You can send the gaze down, or you can send the gaze up towards the ceiling. Stay for the breath in. Stay for the breath out. Beautiful. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana to your left, hands to your left, hips to your right. Gaze up towards the ceiling and hold. Biceps by your ears. Breathe. Keeping a strong connection through your core as you reach up and over. Again, more important than the depth of the posture is the depth of your breath. Notice how you're breathing. Stay for one more breath in. Find a little bit of depth on the breath out. Inhale brings you back to center. And on your exhale, one more time, all the way to the right. Reach your hands up and over to the right. Putting the spotlight on Lucy. Holding for your breath in. And hold for the breath out. All right. Now, inhale back to center. Exhale, opposite direction, reach and hold. Palms together, shoulders away from the ears, gazes up or down. There for 3, 2, and 1. Rise and release, y'all. Shake it out. And Devin, how's that feeling for you right now? Give me a thumbs up if you're not feeling any pain when you come back. How are you feeling right
It
now?
hurts more when I bend to the left.
More when you bend to the left. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is your pain from a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
Um, Today, like a 4.5.
Okay. All right. Let me know if that goes above 5 at any point. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. For everyone else, yogis, let's go ahead and extend our arms straight out ahead, creating the arms parallel to the ground, feet about hip width distance apart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chair pose Utkatasana. Find your invisible chair, squat low. And in our chair pose, we want to make sure that we can see our toes. So when you're in your chair pose, right, we are squatting down. First thing you want to do is look down towards your toes. Make sure that you can see your toes peeking in front of your knees. The knees are too far forward, send the booty back. And now some of you might look something like this, right? Leaning forward. Today, I want you to lean back. So the reason why we have our arms in front of us is to prevent us from falling backwards, right? So we're leaning so far back that you should almost feel like you're going to fall backwards. And then you're using your arms to keep you balanced. Press your toes onto the ground just as much as your heels are on the floor. And if you need to stand up and shake it off for a second, that's okay, but come right back. Squat a little bit low. We're challenging ourselves. Pressing the ground with our feet. Engage your belly. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Slow. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the arms as they are. Second, inhale, lift your heels off of the ground. Exhale, Utkatasana, awkward chair, round 2. So now this time, keep your heels lifted as you bend your knees and begin to squat down. Slow. Eventually, yogis, your thighs are going to be parallel to the ground and your heels will be lifted. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. We hold in this position. And some of you, you might be over here, and that's okay. If this is as far as you can go, that's totally fine. But keep the heels lifted. Focus on the lift of the heels. Notice if you're holding your breath. We're there for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly rise. And release the heels, but keep the arms. Keep the arms extended. Yes. Now, for this last round, we're going to bring the knees together. Keep the feet as they are, but squeeze the knees together. Awkward chair, round 3. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to squeeze the knees together. Lift your heels off of the ground. Now, some of you bending yogis in the room might be able to come all the way down to your heels. Today, I want you to prevent yourselves from doing that. Lift your butt off of your heels. The focus here is squeezing those knees together. Working on our adductors. Squeeze the knees and hold. Gaze is forward, not down. You're there for 3, 2, and 1. We slowly rise and release. Shake it out. Beautiful. Great job, everyone. Okay. Moving on right away. Take an inhale, lift both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, Garudasana. Right arm under the left. So find your bind. I'm coming to my knees just so you can see me. Stay standing. We bring right arm under the left and the palms come together. Now, if this is a little bit too much for you yogis, or if your hands are like wonky like this, I want you to grab for opposite shoulders instead. So just give yourself a bear hug. And then from there, I want you to just walk your hands closer to each other behind your back. So we're giving ourselves a bear hug, right arm under the left, or we're finding our bind with the hands clasped. Once you find that, lift your elbows a little bit higher, bring your hands away from your body and squat down. Find your chair pose again. From there, bring your right leg over the right. And here, if you have a yoga block, you can bring your block on the outside of your left foot, and then bring your foot onto that block. So if you have your block, give this a try just to feel what that's like. Find that support. Breathing into our space, leaning back, squeezing the elbows. And right now we're compressing all 14 major joints in the body, which is super, super important to do for the healthy aging of our joints, of our body, building calcium in our bones. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Lift your right knee up high. Whenever you see me move like this, I'm just moving so you can see from a different angle. You can stay exactly as you are. Now, with this right leg lifted, notice if you're locking out your left knee. Little bend through your left knee. Yes, beautiful adjustments. I saw those. Point your toes up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Your exhale, warrior 3 with Garudasana arms. So for a lot of you, it's best to start by stepping your foot back, hinge forward. And from this position, now levitate your foot off of the ground and create a capital T shape with the body by bringing your heart closer to the floor, pointing your toes. Today we point the toes down here. Right hip goes down towards the ground. Hold it. Take a deep breath in, hands to prayer by your heart. Remove the bind. And now on your exhale, Tula Dandasana, balancing stick. Biceps by the ears, point your toes back, reach forward, reach back. So you're creating capital T shape with your body, maintaining a steady pace of your breath. Shift the weight forward towards your toes for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, big toes together. Exhale, Garudasana on the opposite side. So right away, yogis, left arm goes under the right. Find your bind, or you grab for opposite shoulders. Beautiful. Everyone seems to have their bind. From there, if you're using a block on one side, do so on the opposite side. Block on the outside of your right leg. Squat low. And now we bring left arm over the right. Left leg over the right. Once you find that, you breathe. Slow and steady, in and out through your nose. Now, the more you squat down, the more you bend your right knee, the easier it is to find this bind. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Hold it. Beautiful. If you come out of it, slowly work your way back. Yes, Brenda, good job. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Now your left knee lifts. Exhale, warrior 3. Step the foot back, hinge forward. And yogis, if this is where you're at today, that's totally fine. If this doesn't give you any pain, but lifting your foot does, then put the foot down. Otherwise, begin to find that warrior 3 shape by lifting your left leg off of the ground, keeping your thigh parallel to the ground and your chest parallel to the floor. Inhale, hands to prayer by your heart. Exhale, balancing stick. Reach forward, point your toes back. Imagine I'm in the room with you, and I'm pulling your hands forward while also pulling your foot back. Reach in opposite direction, shift the weight forward. You're there for 3, for 2, and 1. Big toes together, slowly rise, and release. Shake it out. Beautiful. First water break of class, yogis. If you need to, please towel off, drink some water. Putting the spotlight back on our resident model over here. Okay. Now, for this next part, grabbing our strap. If we don't have a strap, let's grab a towel. And if we don't have a towel, then we'll just use our hands. Cool. So when we're using our strap, the strap is very important because it gives us so much more space to be able to hold on, to be able to use these shapes. Normally, when we do this next posture, standing forehead to knee pose, we would typically find ourselves standing. You would lift your leg and you would interlace all 10 fingers, including the thumbs underneath the foot. Today, we're going to experiment with what does it feel like to use this strap instead. So find your strap about hip width distance apart, lift one knee up high, and now I want you to bring your foot onto that strap. So important things to keep in mind here, yogis. When I find this strap, I want to find my knee in line with my hip. I want my toes to be up, and I want very little to no weight on that strap. So the name of the game is going to be how little weight can I put on that strap. And then once you have that, if you feel adventurous today, begin to walk your hands closer to your foot. So walking the hands closer. And then once you find that edge, hold that. This is layer one. For layer two, you're going to present the foot forward. There we go, and we breathe here. Point the toes back. Holding here, maybe a little bend through the arms. Maybe you lift the leg a little bit higher, not forcing it, just noticing where the body wants to end. You're there for 3, for 2, and 1. Come back to layer 1. Remove the strap, rise, and release. All right, y'all. So one thing that's very important when we're doing these shapes, right? Let's say we're here with our strap, right? We're extending the leg and we feel wobbly and shaky, and you feel like you're about to fall out of the shape, then just come out of it. Just come back to standing and then start over from the beginning. It's better for you to train your mind to be in the position the correct way than to try to correct yourself while you're balancing on one leg. That could be very dangerous. So if you're shaky and wobbly, right? We're here, we're shaky, we're wobbly, we're losing our balance, just stand up. Stand up and start over, right? You come back, you hinge forward, you extend the leg. We'll do that for most of our shapes, and we'll talk about it a little bit more as we keep progressing through class. So let's do that with the opposite leg now. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, lift your left knee. And now from here, you bring strap underneath the sole of your left foot. The knee is not up here. Your knee is right in line with your hips. Before you move any further, see if you can walk your hands closer to your foot. Once you find the edge of how far you can go, then we begin to extend the leg forward. And then you can bend your arms to bring that leg a little bit higher. Breathe into that space. Again, little to no weight on the strap, even here. So it's the muscles in the leg that are doing this more than anything else. You're breathing slow and steady, in and out through your nose. For 3, for 2, and 1. Back to layer 1, and release. Let it go. Great job, everyone. Okay. Shaking it off, shaking off the hands, the feet. Coming to standing on your mat. Palms facing forward to find our external rotation. Inhale, extended Tadasana, arms overhead. And on your exhale, bring your right hand by your side, like you're holding a dinner tray. Elbow in by your side, palm up. And then your left palm is facing forward. Now, this part's very important. Some of you have heard this, let me say this 1,000 times, and some of you are hearing it for the first time. Once you come here, I want you to bend your right leg and hold. You bend your right foot back and hold. Knees are together. Again, if you feel shaky and wobbly here, then I just want you to stay here for now. Once you feel steady, then you grab the inside of the foot. What I don't want you to do is to flip your palm and grab the outside of your foot. You grab me the inside of the foot. And then if you're like me, your knees came apart, see if you can bring your knees together. You bring the knees together and you hold this position until you feel steady. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, standing bow. So step by step, kick onto your hand first and lift your knee. Before you reach forward, just lift your knee as high as you can. Once you can't lift that knee anymore, then you give yourself permission to hinge from your hips and reach your left hand forward. The gaze is not down towards the floor, the gaze is forward. Find a point in front of you, your drishti, Something that's not moving, does not shake. Stare at that point and breathe into that point. Once you arrive there, you're holding it. Kick a little bit higher, you hold for 3, 2, and 1. Rise and release. Okay. In this pose, same thing, right? If I'm holding my foot, I'm in this position and I'm feeling shaky and wobbly, right? I want you to stand up. And if you need to let go of your foot, come to standing. And then begin again. Start from the beginning. Step by step. Bend the knee, hold the inside, and then you slowly move. So now let's switch sides. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, left hand by your side. From there, bend your left leg. Knees are together. Notice if you're shaky and wobbly on this side. Find a tall spine. And now from there, I want you to grab the inside of your foot. Notice that my palm doesn't flip. I'm not twisting my arm. I'm literally just scooping the inside of my foot. Knees come together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, standing bow. Kick first. Lift your knee behind you first. Once you can't lift anymore, for me, it's right about here. Then you hinge forward. Little bend through the right leg to find your muscles engaging with the ground rather than locking out your joints. Gaze is straight forward as you kick and reach. Kick and reach. Once you find yourself there, you hold for 3, 2, and 1. Rise and release. Beautiful. Shake it out. Shake it out. Okay. Now, we're going to do that one more time. And this time, we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. 60 seconds is a long time when we're balancing like this. So making sure that we focus. Take a moment to close your eyes, yogis. Take a moment to close your eyes and just visualize what you're about to do. And Devin, I want you to sit out for this one and just lay on your back for a moment. And just take a moment to imagine your body getting into this shape. Same thing, Dev. I want you to imagine your body getting into this shape. Bending your knee, grabbing the inside of the foot. Feel yourself really solid. Imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet onto the ground and holding you steady onto the floor. Visualize yourself moving through this practice, finding perfect balance, holding the position. Visualize yourself going a little bit deeper into this pose, deeper than you've gone before, with ease, without any resistance. And now imagine yourself slowly with lots of control, like you've been a professional gymnast your whole life, slowly coming out of this shape. Bless you. Slowly, in your mind's eye, begin to rise and release. Okay, opening the eyes. And now we do that together in this physical reality. So Devin, if your back is feeling a little bit better, please feel free to stand up and join us. Let's go ahead and inhale both arms overhead. Exhale, right hand by your side. Hold your dinner tray. Step by step, bend your right leg and hold. Grab the inside of your foot and hold. Bring your knees together and hold it. Deep breath in. 60 seconds starts now, yogis. Take your time. No instructions. No rush. Plenty of time to start over. We're about 30 seconds. Gazes forward, straight forward. We're almost there, yogis. Everything you've got for these last 15 seconds. Breathe. There for these last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise and release. Great job, y'all. Beautiful focus, beautiful concentration. Now let's do that on the opposite side. Inhale, both arms overhead. Left hand by your side. From there, bend your left leg. Grab the inside of your left foot. Inside of your left foot. Bring your knees together. Hold it. 60 seconds starts now. Move at your own pace. More important than the depth of the posture is the depth of our breath. How are you breathing right now? Less than 30 seconds. Good job. Everything you've got for these last 10 seconds. Plenty of time to come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise and release. Beautiful. Great job, everyone. Shake it out. Shake it out. All right. Whenever we hold postures, whenever we hold any position in yoga, it typically builds energy in the body. So right now, we're going to see if we can release some of that energy. Step to the middle of your mat. Take an inhale as you extend your arms overhead. Exhale, Anjavitasana, little back bend. Cactus your arms, lift the heart, gaze back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, gaze forward. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hinge from your hips, micro bend through your knees. Little bend through the knees goes a long way to protecting your back. Shake your head yes and no. Pedal out the feet. Hands above your knees. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale, high plank. Hands or forearms to the ground. Holding this plank just for a moment. You can skip that depth. Deep breath in, and on your exhale, downward facing dog. You can come to a downward facing dog or just come to a tabletop if that's easier. Beautiful. Pedal out the feet here, yogis. First downward dog of our class. Shake your head yes and no. How's your shoulder feeling so far, Brenda? Yes, let's go. All right. Let's take an inhale. Lift both heels up high. Exhale as you melt your heels down. Let's do that again. Inhale, both heels up high. Exhale, melt the heels down. Now from there, inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring your knee towards your nose, shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Once again, arms high, or right leg up high. Exhale, low lunge. Right foot in between both hands. Now, if the right foot doesn't quite make it, if it lands back here, grab it with your right hand, slide it forward. From there, melt your left heel down to the ground. And on your inhale, rise for warrior two. Now let's talk about this warrior two. This right knee is bent forward, and my leg is in the same direction as my foot. So notice if your knee is coming into the left, I want you to bring your knee to the right. Yes, beautiful. Now let's take a look at our back foot. This back foot is either parallel to the back of the mat or even slightly pointed forward. From there, recommit to the bend. For most of you, your hips are going to be at a slight angle forward rather than square to the side of the mat. And then from there, your arms are going to extend to the sides. Now, we're not just bending and holding here. Actively squeeze the legs together. So imagine like you're trying to fold your mat in half. And then notice your inner thighs fire up. Arms reach out in opposite directions. Inhale as you reach forward as far as you can. Exhale, extended side angle. Elbow to knee today. Left arm towards the sky. Very common for some of you to extend this front leg whenever you do this. Bend your right knee more than you think you should. Yes, let's go. Now from there, right elbow is pressing to the inside of the leg and you're twisting your heart up towards the ceiling. Stay here for the breath in. Stay here for the breath out. Keeping your legs exactly as they are, yogis. Press through the knife edge of your back foot. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand goes to the back of your left leg or to the bind behind your hip. Right arm goes up and back. Squeeze and hold it. Stay for the breath in. Stay for the breath out. From there, inhale, star pose. Heels in, toes out. Take up space. And on your exhale, goddess pose. Squat down and sway side to side. Side to side. Beautiful. Now, as you're swaying side to side, press your feet onto the ground. So imagine pressing through all four corners of your feet. The inner arch, the outer arch, the toes, your heel. Just really try to press your toes onto the ground. And notice the arch of your foot activating here. Squat a little bit lower. Beautiful. Now we come to center and we do tiny squats at the center. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Tiny little movements up and down. 3, 2, 1. Now hold it. Lift your right heel off of the ground. And we pulse, pulse, pulse. Tiny movements up and down. Just the right heel is lifted. Beautiful. Now switch sides. Left heel lifts and we pulse. So here's the easy part. Both heels lift off of the ground and you pulse. Both heels off of the ground and you pulse. 3, 2, 1. Heels to the ground. Take up space. Star pose. Parallel your arms. Parallel your feet. That means that both feet are pointed straight forward or straight in the same direction. Flip your palms. Lift your heart. Inhale here. Exhale. Wide-legged forward fold. Hinge from your hips. And melt your forehead down to the ground. Now here, yogis, if you have your blocks, this could be a great place for you to use your blocks. Bring your block underneath your hand and bend your arm. You can use the block in front of you. You can bring the block in between your legs and reach back towards that block. If you don't have a block, you don't really need it. You can bring your hands on the floor. Hands can come to the outside of the feet. So I want you to give yourself permission to be creative here. Do whatever it is that your body needs right now. And whatever you do, give yourself a little tiny bend through your knees. Notice if your legs are locked out. Yes, Leela. Let's go, Karen. The little twist. One side and the other. Whatever feels good in your body, give yourself permission to explore and find what that is. And whatever you do on one side, begin to do so on the opposite side. Okay. Now, hands come down to the ground. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale as you fold. Tee out your arms, little bend through the knees. Squeeze the legs together and slowly rise all the way up to standing. Now from there, yogis, bring your palms together overhead. Palms come together overhead. Walk your feet just a little bit closer. We want them to be slightly wider than shoulder width distance apart. And from there, now you're going to pivot forward. So now both toes are pointing forward in the same direction, right? Make sure to look at your back foot and notice if your back foot is twisted or to the side. Point that foot forward. It's almost like they're on train tracks, pointing in the same direction parallel to each other. Arms are still overhead. Once you're there, take an inhale as you poke a hole through the ceiling. Exhale, separate standing forehead to knee pose. Hinge from your hips. And just like the pose says, bend your knee, bring your hands down to the ground or to your block. And then bring your chin in towards your chest. Bend your right leg to find this knee pressing into your third eye. Once you find that connection, plug your right hip back, left hip forward. And now when we press our chin in towards our chest like this, we're establishing what's known as the Jaladhara Bandha. So this throat constriction makes it a little bit challenging to breathe, and that's okay. We want to feel that difficulty so that we stimulate our thyroid, we improve the circulation, the energy flow towards the top and crown of the head. So many benefits to this. Give yourself permission to feel that as you plug your right hip back, left hip forward. And now from here, yogi, send your gaze down towards your big toe on your right foot. Bring your hands to prayer overhead if you lost that. Pressing through your right leg, slowly, slowly begin to rise. Grab your strap with you. Come to standing on your mat. And now from there, with your strap, I want you to take your strap and reach the strap behind you on the opposite side. And then you can bring the hands as close or as far as you'd like. Once you're there, yogis, take an inhale, lift your left heel off the ground. Put some tension on that strap as you lift your heart up towards the ceiling, gaze up. Exhale, toppling tree. Launch out of your left leg. Keep tension on the strap as you hinge forward. Lift your hands away from your body as you lift your leg off of the ground. Little bend through your right knee and hold. You're there for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release your hands back down to the ground or to your block and hold. Standing splits. Now here, know that the closer your hands get to the foot, the more space you're going to create for this left leg to go up. If this is a little bit too much, you can bring your block onto the highest setting and just come to like a halfway lift instead. Otherwise, you're folding into your right leg. Take an inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale, Shiva squat. Left knee to the back of your calf. Bring your knee in towards your third eye. Inhale, you rise halfway. Exhale, step it back, low lunge. Left foot comes down to the ground. Beautiful. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal up. Okay, we have just one more side to go here, and then we get a little break, yogis. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg goes up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Shoulders over your wrist. Bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. This time, left foot down to the ground. Right heel down to the floor. And as you inhale, slowly rise for your warrior two. I'm going to switch sides just so you can see me a little more clearly. But we find our warrior two. And take your time. Find these little adjustments. Bend your knee. Bring your knee to the left. Tee out your arms. Arms are not wonky or shaky. They're straight. Actively reaching for opposite sides of your room. Inhale as you reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle, elbow to knee, right arm up towards the sky. Beautiful. Recommit to the bend on that left knee. Bend a little bit more as you twist your heart up towards the sky. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Alexis, bend your left knee a little bit more. Let's go. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left arm up and back. Right hand to the back of your right leg, or you go for the bind. Keep squeezing those legs together. You're trying to make the feet touch underneath you. Stay for the breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, star pose. Once again, heels in, toes out, take up space. Exhale, goddess pose. Squat down and sway side to side. All right, from there, yogis, this time hands come to the inner thighs as you squat low. Take a breath in as you gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you look over your right shoulder, twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. Center with the breath in. Exhale, twist. Slowly back to center, hands to prayer by your heart. Inhale, star pose, take up space. On your exhale, parallel the hands, grab your strap once again. Take your strap behind you this time. And again, you find a distance that feels appropriate for you. That's going to be different for every person in this call. Once you find the distance between your strap, take an inhale, lift the heart, gaze up. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold with your bind. Let the arms lift up and back. Give yourself a little bend through your knees as you shift your weight forward towards your toes. Imagine that I'm in the room with you and I'm holding the strap up towards the ceiling as you continue to shift your weight forward towards your toes. Once you're there, just breathe. Feel this deep, deep opening for your shoulders or your spine. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Slowly release your strap down to the floor. Hands come down to the ground. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale as you fold. Tee out those arms, bend your knees. Inhale, star pose, slowly rise all the way through. And on your exhale, hands to prayer overhead. This time, walk the feet together again, like we did before. A little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart. Now from there, you're going to pivot forward so that we're all on the same page. Your left leg should be leading the way. Left leg should be leading the way. The only reason why I'm pointing backwards is because I shifted my warrior two so you could see me better. Left leg is leading the way. Arms are extended overhead. Take a deep breath in as you poke a hole through the ceiling. Exhale, Dandayamana, Vibhaktapada, Janu Shirshasana. Hinge from your hips, separate standing forehead to knee pose. Hands come down to the ground. Bend your left knee. Chin comes in towards your chest and find your knee activating your third eye. Plug your left hip back, right hip forward. And breathe. And as you breathe, notice your back expanding and healing. Slowly send your gaze down towards your big toe on the left foot. Hands come to prayer overhead once again. If you have your strap close by, you can grab it right now. And then from there, you slowly press your left leg onto the ground as you begin to rise. Hands with your strap behind you. Grab your strap. Once you find that connection with the strap, take an inhale, lift your right heel off of the ground. Exhale, toppling tree. Launch out of your right leg. Hinge from your hips and then reach your arms up. Right hip comes down towards the ground as you bring your heart towards your knee. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. And on your exhale, release your hands for standing splits. Keep lifting your right leg as high as you can. Stay for the breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale, Shiva squat, right knee to the back of your calf, chin to chest. Inhale as you rise halfway. Exhale, step it back, low lunge. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, take an inhale, heels high. Exhale, child's pose. Big toes together, knees out wide, forehead melts down to the floor. Take this moment to rest, yogis. Take this moment to catch your breath. Breathe into your spine. We're at 7:57. Cool. So for those of you that have to leave right at 8, we'll begin to cool down. We still have about another 10 to 15 minutes of class. So for those of you that can stay a little bit longer, please do so. If you do have to leave right at 8, then come onto your back. And then just give yourself a supine twist. Let your knees fall to your left, to your right. Don't forget to do a happy baby. Give yourself a few minutes just to meditate with us. For those of you that, excuse me, those of you that can go a little bit longer, stay in your child's pose. Yes, Brendan, Garen, don't forget supine twist, knees fall to your left, and then whenever you feel ready, you can send that to the right, happy baby, and then find yourself in your Shavasana. For everybody else, slowly begin to press yourself up to tabletop, shoulders over your wrist. Putting the spotlight on Kaylee this time. I'll snap. And now let's take a few cat-cows, yogis. Give yourself a few cat-cows. Maybe you look over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder. Just find some movement here that feels good, that feels natural, that feels supportive. Articulating your spine in any way that feels good for you. There's no right or wrong way to move right now. Just give yourself permission to flow. Circles with the head feel really good right about now. And circles in the opposite direction. Okay. With your knees on the ground, shift your weight forward and lower all the way down to your belly. All the way down to the belly. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders. We're preparing for baby cobra. But stay on the ground, forehead to the ground, big toes together behind you. Tops of the feet pressed onto the ground so much that your knees are lifted off of the floor. Squeeze the elbows. Imagine the elbows are trying to kiss behind you. And as you inhale, baby cobra, peel your heart off of the ground. Press your feet onto the floor. Keep lifting those knees. Exhale, you melt back down to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra, slowly rise. Little to no weight on the hands this time. Maybe the hands hover off of the floor. Exhale, you let it go. One more. Deep breath in. Squeeze. Lift. Hold. Exhale, belly shavasana. Left ear comes down to the ground, hands by your sides. Bring your hands by your hips, palms down towards the earth, and breathe. Taking a moment to feel this deep, deep relaxation for your neck, for your spine. Taking a moment to give thanks to this ground underneath our feet, the platform for all of our dreams and all the things that we're creating for ourselves. Now from there, yogis, with the palms down to the ground, Bring your hands underneath your hips. So imagine that I am laying down on the floor. This is what it should look like. Pinkies come together underneath your body. Hips are on top of your hands. So here, palms come together underneath the body, underneath the hips. Chin comes back to center. Relax your left leg like it doesn't exist. And on your inhale, half locust. Lift your right leg up high and hold. Press your shoulders onto the ground and continue to lift your right leg up high. Reach, reach, reach. Reach and hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Melt your left leg down to the ground. Readjust your hands if you need to. Reach your fingertips towards your knees. Shoulders are pressed down to the ground, chin or lips down to your mat. And once you're ready, you inhale left leg up towards the sky. Reach and hold. Press your left hip down as you reach your left leg up. Reach and hold it for 3, for 2, and 1. Let it go. Beautiful. Now here's a big challenge, yogis. Bring your lips down to the ground. Again, readjust your hands if you need to. And now we lift both legs off of the ground. Inhale, locust pose. Both legs lift off of the floor. Press the hands onto the ground and reach for 3, for 2, and 1. Let it go. Send your right ear down to the mat. Release your hands. Circles with your wrist. Open and close your palms. Great job, everyone. Now from there, cactus your arms. Chin comes back to center. And on your inhale, full locust, like you're jumping out of an airplane. Lift your shoulders, lift your arms, lift your feet off of the floor. Cactus the arms, reach, reach, reach as high as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Left ear to the mat. Belly Shavasana. Okay. We're almost there. Bend your knees. And now grab the outsides of your feet. So opposite grip than what we did earlier today. Outsides of the feet. Knees come together. If you're like me, your knees probably came apart. See if you can bring them together again. Or if this is a little bit too much, we can grab our strap to our feet as well and hold on to the strap. Once you're there, take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, floor bow. Kick into your hands, kick into your strap. Lift your heart off of the ground. Shift towards your belly and reach. Reach and hold for 3. A little bit higher, gaze up towards the ceiling. For 2. And 1, let it go. Beautiful. Right here to the mat. Windshield wiper your legs side to side if that feels good. Great job, everyone. Stand up onto your knees, hands to the ground. Okay. So this is our peak posture for today's class. Uttanasana, camel pose. For Uttanasana, if you have a block, I want you to grab a block and bring a block in between your knees. Now, today, I want us to focus not so much on how far back we bend, but finding a structural connection with the block. Block is going to be loosely on this medium setting, right in between the knees. Okay? And if you don't have your block, that's totally fine. You don't need a block. From there, take your hands to your low back. Strong connection to the belly today. Strong connection with the glutes. Squeeze the block, squeeze the glutes, squeeze your belly. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, Uttanasana, camel pose. Shift your hips forward, send your gaze up and back. And hold. Focus on expanding your throat as much as you can as you shift your hips forward and back. Squeeze the elbows behind you. Hold. Gently rise. Remove your block. Close your eyes and come to a seat. Take your left hand. Bring your left hand to your heart. Take your right hand. Bring your right hand to your back. And here we take deep and slow breath in through the nose. If you're feeling really overheated, exhale through your mouth to let go of that heat. Otherwise, seal the lips and keep the breath in and out through your nose. Notice your heartbeat right now and take a moment to speak to your heart, reminded that it's safe, that it is loved. Take a moment to give thanks for all the work that it does for you on a daily basis. Feel your belly expand underneath your right hand and take a moment to give thanks to your belly. Give thanks to your internal organs for all the work that they do for you on a daily basis. Release your hands down by your side. Coming to a seat at the top of your mat. Bring your heels apart and come to a seat in between your heels. Now, if this is a little bit too painful for your knees, then today I want you to grab your block and I want you to come to a seat on your block instead. Now, if you're coming to a seat on your block, I want you to just stay there. Don't go any further. If you don't have your block, then today I want you to take your hands and bring your hands behind your feet and slowly begin to lean back. And if we have the space, the knees stay together. So the sign that you're going too far is when your knees begin to splay out. So keep the knees together, keep the heels tight, close to your body. So your hands should not be able to slide in between your heels. And then when you lean back, maybe you bring your forearms down to the ground, release your head, and then eventually you'll be able to melt all the way down to the floor. And again, we're not here to perfect poses or to push our bodies to an extreme. We're here to notice our relationship with our bodies. Where are we at? And where do we want to be? Giving ourselves a little bit of love and compassion and sending some love to the knees, decompressing our knees right now. And to come out of this, you press your hands onto the ground. For all of you, I would like you to take your hands straight out in front of you, find your tabletop. Step your right foot back, tuck your toes, and now you just pulse your heel forward and back. Forward and back. And now from there, switch sides. Tuck your toes, left heel, forward and back. Forward and back. Beautiful. Send your legs straight out in front of you, yogis. Little bend through your knees. And today I want you to grab your strap, if you have it. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Bring the strap right over your toes. And today, since we're using our strap, notice if you have a tendency to round here. I want you to use the strap to find the tallest spine that you can. Shine your heart forward. And now bend your arms to point your toes back and send your heels forward. Keeping that really tall spine, I want you to hinge forward. Now, the moment you feel pressure in your low back, bend your knees. So the moment I feel something here, I just bend my knees a little bit to let go of the pressure. Straight spine today. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And slowly let that go. Bend your knees, hug your knees in towards your body as you lower it down to the mat. And now we rock side to side. Massage your low spine here. Option to grab your block and bring a block in between your knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, supine twist. Cactus your arms, knees melt to your left. Gaze goes to your right. And once you're here, just begin to unwind, just begin to let go. Inhale brings you to center. Exhale, supine twist, opposite side. Knees melt to the right. Slowly back to center you go. Remove your block. Bring your knees in towards your body. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, happy baby pose. Give yourself permission to expand. Using your arms, bring your knees closer to the ground as you lift your heels up high. Bring as much of your spine onto the ground as you can. Rock from one side to the other. Curl into a little ball. One last time, yogis. Forehead to knee, point your toes back. Squeeze every muscle in your body. Squeeze, 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 and hold it. And from here, you release. Final shavasana. Let go. Give yourself permission to melt, yogis, and when it's time, I will guide you through. Yogi, slowly begin to bring awareness back to your body by moving your fingers and your toes. Deepen your connection to this now moment by deepening your breath. Slowly extend your arms overhead. Find a big good morning stretch as you reach in opposite directions. And only when you're ready, find fetal position on your right side. Hug your knees in towards your belly. Use your bicep as a pillow. Take a moment and bring your left hand to your heart. And just take a moment to give thanks to your heart. Once again, for being brave enough and courageous enough to show up, to turn on your camera, to allow yourself to be seen, to allow yourself to do something for yourself, for your body, for your mind, for your soul. Take your left hand and bring your hand to the ground. Give thanks to Mother Earth for holding us in her womb, this planet. Give thanks for being the ground underneath our feet, for being the stage where we can practice, where we can learn, where we can grow. Only when you feel ready, with the eyes closed, work your way towards a seat on your mat. And your hands to prayer by your heart. And we seal our practice today by chanting Om together. For those of you that might be new to chanting Om, Ah, O, we'll take a cleansing breath in and a cleansing exhale, and then we'll take a breath in to prepare for our chant. So deep breath in. And just make some noise with this breath out. Ah, let it all. Now we take a deep breath in to prepare for our chant. Inhale. Hands to your third eye center, the space in between your eyebrows. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. May all the beings in all the realms be happy, be free, and today may your thoughts, your words, and your actions fall into perfect alignment for your liberation. Gently bow to all the teachers that have come before and all the teachers that will come after. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. And please give a warm welcome to our friend Leela for joining us and joining our community. Leela is going to be joining us for our Sangha sleepover on the 20th through the 22nd. So Leela, one thing that we do after every single one of our classes, Monday through Friday, is we create a little bit of time, typically about 10 to 15 minutes after class, to answer any questions. So if there's anything that came up for you during class, if you have any questions about literally anything, anatomy, pose, something that didn't make sense in your body, or something that you would like some clarity on, this is the time. So the floor is yours, gang. Whatever you have, let me know. Kaylee.
Yeah, when we were doing the half locus and you want the palms touching the ground underneath, my wrists don't go that far yet. They're super not flexible. So what position would be a good modification, I guess?
When you say that your wrists don't go that far and they're not flexible, what's happening that's leading you to believe that?
They just don't like my palm, like my hands won't touch the ground like that. And it's painful on my wrists, like the twisting, because it's supposed to be like this, right?
Yeah, so what I would suggest extending your hands a little bit more.
Like that.
Uh-huh.
And then
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'll try
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, give that a try. Let's see. Let's try it right now and see if it makes a difference. So lay down on the ground, palms together,
Oh.
palms together, arms are fully extended. And in the beginning, Kaylee, there is going to be a little bit of pressure, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's going to be something where you're learning how to like essentially create torque on your wrist.
Yeah.
So it's going to feel like a little bit of pressure. And what I would suggest is just reaching a little bit further. And then when you lift your leg, play with how high you lift your leg. But did that make a difference at all with the arms extended compared to bend?
A little bit. It's
Yeah.
still pretty uncomfortable. And like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any like motion that I can do to prepare for that?
This is actually something that I gave Brenda as well, especially since you work with your hands so much.
Yeah.
Grabbing a towel, right? Um, like yeah, I would say like exactly perfect. I would put a bowl of water,
Uh-huh.
the towel in the water, and then I would just every morning or every night or both, preferably, before you when you wake up and before you go to bed, just rinse the towel. So you would like twist the towel and then you would twist in the opposite direction. And
Hmm.
then I would do the same thing the opposite way. So imagine that I have my towel here, I would twist it and I would grab, and then very gently, we don't need to do a lot with this, but externally rotating the arm and the wrist and then letting it go. Because what happens is that as we age, the the tendons, the ligaments, the connective tissue in our joints, in our hands, and there's so many joints in the hands specifically, they get weaker and weaker. So we need to add resistance training of some sort in order to be able to maintain that. So a lot of these poses, these binds and these twists and these different positions that we do, we're putting pressure into the bones and into the body to create and allow the body to build more calcium and create more resistance. So it's going to strengthen the connective tissue, but when we don't have that strength, it can be very painful. It's the same thing with like when we're doing this wrist stretches, right? Like this can sometimes be painful, and especially this when we're coming here and we're not used to doing that, right? So
Uh-huh.
if we press into the back of the hand and we push forward, there's probably going to be a lot of sensation up here in the beginning. But that's what we get to do. It's like a slowly developing of like the capacity to be able to put weight in this externally rotated space onto our wrist. And that's not the
Okay.
point of that particular posture. It's just an effect of doing that. Because really, once you get past that, then the focus is learning how to contract the muscles in our low back so that we can lift the legs a little bit higher. So teaching our
Mhm.
posterior chain how to like work more closely together. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say specifically for you and the work that you do, try the towel thing and then
Yeah.
try the once same thing. Once you do forward and back a few times, I would say maybe like reps of like 10 on each side. So one direction, reach as far as you can, hold it. Do that 10 times, then do it the opposite way 10 times, hold it. And then you go in the external rotation. This part's important. Externally rotate the arm, grab the towel on this side, and then pull down. And I would
Mhm.
not put too much pressure here. I would just very light once you feel that edge of that, and then hold that maybe for like a couple of seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. See
I'll
how
try that.
that goes for you. And then like get back to me and let me know what that feels like. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Great question. Anybody else? Any questions? Anything that came up today during class? Cool. No questions. We've all like ascended asana. We're beyond it. We've mastered all the poses, removed all our skandhas. Congrats.
I have one.
Alexis and then Leela. Go ahead.
Um, so say we don't have a strap, how long would you recommend like the towel being? Because I feel like maybe I should have had a longer towel to get a better like grip when I was pressing into it. Like not
Mhm.
necessarily putting a lot of pressure with my foot, but like just to hold it better.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get you a strap. I think I have an extra strap for you, Alexis. But um it really the benefit of the strap is that it's incredibly long, so we can make it as long or as short as possible. So to answer that question, it's really subjective. Like it really depends. It depends on the person, depends on the pose, and the posture. Um, yeah. And I think the benefit of the towel is that it does have more grip, but if it's too short, you might not be able to be getting the most benefit from, excuse me, from that. So
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. What kind of towel were you using?
Let me show you. It's kind of like a hand towel, I would say. Like
Yeah,
more.
I would say like something longer than that would be better. You want to be able to bring your hands, especially in the beginning, at least like almost arm's length
Uh,
apart. Because then that gives you like enough flexibility to be able to play with that. That's probably right at the edge of like how much you would probably need. So we'll get you a strap.
Thank
Yeah, of course. And Leela, you had a question. Oh, I think you're muted, love.
Can
Okay,
you hear
there
me?
you go. Yeah, but
Right.
I'm not hearing you for some reason.
Oh,
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I hear you now.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was just noticing how like stiff I was because I came a little late and I didn't the- do the warm up.
Yeah.
But in that case, if I do come a little late, which I'm not gonna try to make that a habit, do I have permission to just do some like forward folds or just warm up so I don't feel so cold
Yeah.
starting off?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That's an incredible point.
Yeah.
Especially specifically this Wednesday class. It's a derivative of Bikram yoga, and normally this class is practiced in the heat. So it's actually practiced in a heated room.
Oh,
So the warm up is super important. The Vinyasa classes and the Yin classes is probably a little bit easier to sort of hop on.
yes.
But for this specific class that we do only on Wednesdays, yeah, I would suggest a couple of squats, like air squats. I would suggest like a couple of twists, maybe like a few sun A's. That's really like our warm up is actually very traditional. It's literally like sun salutations,
Yes.
and then we get into our chair pose. So some sun salutations, some twists would be a great idea. And you can just come on. You can keep your camera off if you don't want to distract other people. And then once you're ready to flow with everybody else, you can turn your camera on once you're ready to join us.
Okay. And also, do you prefer like the view to be from the side or like forward, like straight?
Thank you so much for asking that. Yeah, preferably the side because then I can actually see your profile, your body, and I can give you better adjustments. Sometimes there's some poses where like if it's straight in front of you, like I can kind of see a little bit better. But
Yeah.
ideally, actually, Lucy has, I think, the perfect setup. So and this is why Lucy gets the spotlight so often. Because you see how I can see all of Lucy's mats. So any position that Lucy does in the mat, I can see it very clearly. I can see where her hands are. I can see where her feet go, her lighting. There's really great lighting. So like it's just very clear and very easy for me to give Lucy feedback because of that. So I would suggest for all of you to do something similar. And for those of you joining us on a phone, just know that you can always,
You
I
flip
would
it.
suggest getting a tripod, you know.
Does she flip it sideways or is it like up higher and flipped sideways?
Yeah, so you have to be able to make your phone, what is it, where it tilts or whatever. Let's see.
Like
maybe
that.
like portrait mode.
Yeah, I haven't used Zoom on my phone in so long, so I just use my laptop. But
Like if I put it over here, is that better? No, wait, no, it's not better.
yeah,
No, that's not better.
no worries. Well, let's do this. We have a session today, right, Leela?
Yeah.
So we can play with that during our session, and I can help you
Okay.
like in a way that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Mhm.
All right, gang. I have to go do other things, but very, very grateful to all of you. Glad that everyone showed up. Everyone had really, really beautiful focus. Don't forget that we are doing our September challenge. So we're taking roll for every single one of these classes, and whoever has the highest attendance into most classes is going to receive a prize. If you're worried that you're not going to be able to make it to every class and that why should you even try? Like we're going to have different tiers for different people that make it to different spots. So just show up as best as you can. And a reminder that two things. One, we only have a couple of spots left for our Sangha sleepover. And if you would like to come to that, please let me know so we can get you set up. The second thing is we're starting our YTT again, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So for those of you that are interested in our YTT, or those of you that have already gone through the first round and would like to get a refresher so you can finish your assignments, it'll be really great to see you guys there. We're going to meet on Thursdays starting next week at 4 p.m. for that. If you have any questions about anything, gang, let me know. Please give a warm welcome to Leela when you get a chance. I'm going to add her to our group chat later on today. And yeah, we'll see you very soon. Goodbye, friends.